Have you ever been on what you thought was an amazing date? The chemistry was electric. The conversation flowed for hours. You felt a genuine, undeniable spark. You think to yourself, this is it. I finally found one. You send a follow-up text, and then nothing. Radio, silence. You have been ghosted. Now here is the real mindbender. What if I told you that the more attracted she was to you, the more likely she might be to disappear? It sounds completely illogical, right? Why would someone run from something that feels so good? Today, we are not just talking about ghosting. We are diving deep into the psychology behind a very specific and confusing phenomenon: why women sometimes ghost. Men, they are genuinely, intensely, sexually, and romantically attracted. This is not about playing games. This is about fear, self-preservation, and a complicated set of wires getting crossed in the brain. Stick around, because by the end of this, you might just see ghosting in a whole new light. First, let us be clear. People ghost for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it is a simple lack of interest. That is the most common assumption. Sometimes it is immaturity or someone else came along. But that is not the puzzle we are solving today. We are talking about the specific cases where the attraction was mutual and powerful. The guy is left utterly confused, thinking, but she was so into me, she said she had an amazing time, and he is right, she probably did. This creates a paradox: intense attraction leading to complete avoidance. To understand it, we have to move past the surface level. She is just a jerk narrative, though, that can be true, and explore the three core psychological drivers at play: the fear of imperfection, the overwhelm of authentic connection, and the self-sabotage safety protocol. These are not excuses, they are explanations, and understanding them is crucial for everyone navigating the modern dating world. Let us start with reason number 1, the fear of imperfection. We live in the age of the highlight reel. Social media has conditioned men and women to present a polished, perfect, curated version of their lives, and this bleeds directly into early dating. When a woman feels a strong, genuine attraction to someone, the stakes suddenly feel astronomically high. This is not just some random date anymore. This is someone she could actually see a future with. And that is terrifying. Why? Because now the pressure to be perfect is immense. She is not just trying to be her best self. She feels she has to be a flawless self to be worthy of this connection she values so highly. The early dates are a performance, and it is exhausting. She might think he thinks I am this funny, smart, put-together woman. What if he finds out I sometimes spend all Sunday in sweatpants watching bad reality TV and eating cereal for dinner? What if my anxiety acts up? What if I am not as smart as he thinks I am? What if my past baggage is too much? That intense attraction amplifies the potential shame of being seen as human. The thought of being found out as imperfect becomes scarier than the prospect of a future with this person. The ghosting in this case is not about him. It is a preemptive strike against her own perceived inadequacies. She disappears before she can be the one deemed not good enough. It is a defense mechanism to avoid potential future rejection by rejecting first. It is a tragic paradox. The better he is, the more he seems to get her, the more the invisible pressure builds, until the easiest way out feels like simply vanishing from the situation entirely. Now let us get into reason number 2, which is perhaps the most counterintuitive: the overwhelm of authentic connection. This is what I call the vulnerability hangover. You know, a real hangover. You have too much of a good thing and your body rebels the next day. A vulnerability hangover works the same way. You have too much of a good thing and your emotional system rebels. Here's how it plays out. The date was incredible. Guards came down. They shared real stories, not just fun anecdotes, but maybe past hurts, dreams, fears. There was a raw, authentic vulnerability that is pretty rare. The sexual tension was charged by this emotional intimacy. She leaves, flying high. But then hours later, or the next day, the vulnerability hangover kicks in. The emotional adrenaline wears off, and the fear sets in. Oh my God, I told him about my parents' divorce. I shared that embarrassing story from college. Why did I do that? He knows too much. I have shown him my cards. I am exposed. That level of openness can feel incredibly empowering in the moment, but in the cold light of day, it can feel like she has handed over all her power. The attraction is real, but it is tied to this terrifying feeling of being seen in a way she is not used to. The nervous system does not always distinguish between good excitement and bad anxiety. The intense thrill of a powerful connection can register in the body as a threat. It is too much, too fast, too unfamiliar. Ghosting becomes a way to regulate that emotional overwhelm. It is like jumping off a speeding train because you are not sure you can control it anymore. She retreats back to a state of emotional safety and predictability. Even if that state is lonely, it is not that the connection was bad, it is that it was too good. This leads us to the deepest and often most painful reason, the self-sabotage safety protocol. This is where past trauma and attachment styles take the wheel. For many people, and this is not gender-specific, their dating blueprint is based on pain. If her past experiences have taught her that intimacy is followed by pain, abandonment, or betrayal, her brain is wired to see a good thing as the ultimate warning sign. Let me say that again. Her subconscious might interpret a healthy, attractive, available partner as dangerous. Why? Because it is unfamiliar territory. The chaos, the hot and cold, the emotional unavailability of past partners. As miserable as it was, felt familiar, and the human brain equates familiar with safe, even if familiar is painful. A genuinely good connection with a great guy does not match that painful blueprint. It feels disorienting and unsafe because it has not ended in hurt yet. The subconscious mind designed to protect her whispers, "This is too good to be true. He is going to hurt you eventually. It is only a matter of time. You know how this ends. You need to end it first on your terms to control the I narrative and minimize the inevitable damage." So she ghosts. It is a profound form of self-sabotage to confirm a deeply held negative belief that she does not deserve happiness or that good things cannot last by destroying the connection herself. She proves her own painful theory correct and maintains a sense of control over the outcome. The attraction is real, but the fear of the pain that attraction might lead to is even more powerful. It is a heartbreaking cycle, and it has very little to do with the guy she ghosted. He was just collateral damage in a war. She is fighting with her past. Now let us expand even further and look at how attachment styles add fuel to this fire. A woman with an avoidant attachment style, for example, might crave intimacy deeply, but the closer she gets to real connection, the more suffocated she feels. Her instinct is to pull away to preserve her independence, even if she actually wants the relationship. On the other hand, someone with an anxious attachment style might ghost out of fear that she cares too much too fast and will end up being the one hurt first. Either way, the behavior comes from fear, not lack of attraction. Another important layer to understand is the cultural narrative. Many people, especially women, are told from a young age that if something feels too good, it probably will not last. They internalize beliefs like men always leave eventually or love always ends in heartbreak. So when they meet someone who breaks that pattern, instead of leaning in, they run away because it disrupts the story they have been told their whole lives. So let us bring it all together. The fear of imperfection, the overwhelm of connection, and the self-sabotage protocol. 3 powerful psychological forces that can cause someone to run from exactly what they want. If you have been ghosted in this way, I hope this provides some clarity. It is almost certainly not a reflection of your worth, your attractiveness, or anything you did wrong. In fact, it might be the opposite. You represented something real, and that can be terrifying. And if you are someone who recognizes these patterns in yourself, know this. Awareness is the first step. Understanding why you feel the urge to run is how you start to rewire those responses. It is how you learn to sit with the discomfort of something good instead of fleeing from it. It is how you learn to choose a different ending to the story. Healthy attraction should not feel like a threat. It is a skill. To learn how to receive it. This is a complex topic, and I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Have you been on either side of this? Does this resonate with you? If this video gave you a new perspective, hit that like button, it really helps the channel. If you want more deep dives into the psychology of relationships, make sure to subscribe to Dark Facts 2. And ring the notification bell so you do not miss what is next. Thanks for watching. Remember, the goal is not to find a perfect person, but to build a real connection with an imperfect one. See you in the next video.